everyone, it's Alyssa Reynolds here, medium and storyteller, for a really exciting new venture on my channel here. This video is the beginning of a whole new genre, really, of videos that I'm going to be posting up here on my channel that up until now I have only shared with the people who are part of my private Facebook group, the Amethyst Cave. So I am so excited to be finally at this stage to be sharing this out with absolutely everybody, all of you who have happened to stumble across this video, and those of you who have been here already for some time. It is so wonderful to have you here because this new venture is really close to my heart. For those of you who know me and who have been around for a while, you know that piano is one of my greatest loves. It has always been the vehicle through which, when words failed me, when I have needed to process emotions, no matter what they were, or just wanted to go and connect with something, I would go to the piano. And it's certainly not been an easy journey for me as a pianist. There's been many lessons that I have been taught by playing the piano over the years, since I started at age 7 and was classically trained and worked my way all the way up through the Royal Conservatory of Toronto curriculum to being what is essentially a concert pianist. Although that's certainly not my profession. That's just the level that I eventually reached up to. And through all of that, like I said, there were many trials, there were struggles, there were times when I didn't even play the piano due to things that it was bringing up. But that's all really for a totally different video, and if you guys are curious about all of the lessons that music has taught me and how influential music was and being a musician has been in not only putting me on a spiritual path from a very young age, even when I wasn't even totally aware of it, but now that I'm aware of it and I am consciously a part of my spiritual journey, music is a huge part of it. And it comes into what I'm beginning with this whole series, which is in part going to be talking about music and the act of creating music. It's also going to be about inspiration and creativity, and it's going to be coming from my own personal experiences. It's going to be coming from things that I have done with people that I have worked with, people that I have taught. It's going to be also me giving all of you music to work with yourselves and to guide yourselves and to grow and tap into your own creativity, your inspiration, and the vibrations that it all literally is that are part of your spiritual journey too, even if it's not necessarily something that you have connected with or you have consciously thought about. Music is a huge part of what we vibrate at, how we vibrate and what we're connecting with, how we are perceiving our reality, and so much more. But all of that is going to come in all of the videos following, because I want to keep these videos relatively short, and I do want to keep most of these videos primarily focused on the actual music as well. Although this one, since it's the first one, is going to be a little bit more of me talking than just the music, because I do want to set up what this whole series, what this whole new section really of my YouTube channel is going to be about before I get into the music. So I have just been talking about music in kind of an abstract up until this point. What I'm going to be sharing with all of you is what I can best label as channeled compositions that I create on the piano. I've begun mostly with creating them on my lovely Frederick here. I do also have an acoustic piano that I've shown you guys before that I will absolutely be creating music on her, and I have before, and I'm sure there's going to be other pianos that'll be cropping up that I'll be creating music on, because there are pianos back with my family, and well, not this year, probably just due to the current world climate and public spaces, but the city I live in has public pianos that during the summer months they keep them out, usually by a lot of the beaches. That's probably not going to be happening this year, again, due to the current world climate. And I don't even think it happened last year, also due to the same reasons. But regardless, there's going to be all sorts of different pianos, and that's going to come into things that I'll talk about eventually, also about different vibrations and spaces that impact the music that you're creating or whatever you're tapping into in that moment. Speaking of tapping into energies, this is channeled compositions. And I call it channeled compositions and not just compositions because I am intentionally tapping into an energy that either I have called in right in that particular moment as the energy that guides what I play, or when I sit down at a piano, I tune into the energy that's within me or that is simply around me, and I use that to guide whatever I play. My channeled compositions, to put them in the realm of something that is very easy to connect with and identify with, particularly for those of you who may not be musicians yourselves, it is closest to the genre of jazz, in the sense that when I sit down to play, I have no idea what I am going to play. Absolutely no inkling. The only thing I have with me as my fingers are pressing down onto the keys and beginning is whatever the energy is giving me. And that's exactly the same as any of the channelings that you have all watched me do on this channel. I don't have any idea what the beings are going to say until I sit down and I intentionally tune in. Well, okay, there are some times before particularly live events that I've done where an energy pops in and they'll give me a heads up about things that they talk about, particularly if the energy has like 3 different subjects or areas, or I have multiple energies that are stepping in and they just want to make it clear what topic they're going to be talking about, particularly if they feel that I need to just get my energy into the space of whatever it is that they're talking about. But most of the time, I just know who I'm going to be tuning into. I have no idea what it is they're actually going to talk about. And that's the same thing with my channeled compositions. And the other thing I wanted to mention too so with that, I wanted to introduce the song that I wanted to share with all of you today. Next time, I would like to delve into how I believe that everybody is a creative being, and that everybody has the ability to be creative, irregardless of what our current society tends to say, sadly, about creativity and all the lists and requirements that differentiate creative versus non-creative. I have a lot to say on that topic, so that's going to come up in my next video. And the reason why I wanted to just bring that up today is I wanted to ask all of you to share down in the comments section whether or not you identify as someone who is creative. And if you do identify as someone who is creative, what do you like to create? And if you're someone who feels like you're not creative, do you have a desire to find the creative kernel within you? Do you have something that you've always wished that you could create? Just let me know down in the comments below. It doesn't have to be long. It can just be telling me that you identify as an artist, or that you've always wanted to write poetry, or you like making murals with ocean rocks, or whatever it is. Just let me know down in the comments below, because I would really, really like to bring all of you along this journey with me and bring some discussion into these videos as well, since creativity, as I have very much learned through my own journeys with creativity and the many mentors that I have had, that creativity is like any other skill. Basically absolutely everything that is in this reality, in that if you want to be creative, you just have to sit down and practice it. It's the same with channeling, which I know I've mentioned before, that if you want to connect with spirit, you have to practice it. So it's the idea of sit your butt in the chair and just do the work, as I have had so many writing mentors tell me over and over again. And no, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would write a book, as I've been told so many times. But we all have it in us to do it. And a huge part of this new branch that I'm bringing into my YouTube channel is that I want to be here for all of you guys, as someone to just help motivate you, inspire you, just be there for you as you are continuing on your creative journey, or you are just beginning on your creative journey. Because again, I know from my own personal experience that the way that I got a poetry book finally published at the end of 2020 was thanks to the people in my life who kept pushing me and encouraging me and getting me to just put my butt in the chair and get the work done. So if you guys are curious too about any of that whole process as well, let me know down in the comments, because I learned so much from finally publishing a poetry book, and that too is why I really believe that going towards building your creativity is one of the best things that you can do when you're on any path, whether or not you identify as spiritual, whatever you identify as. Bringing creativity into your life is one of the best things you can do. And before I get into a whole rant about creativity, I'm going to leave that for another video as well. And I would like to introduce the song that I am opening this whole new branch of videos with. And it is called To the Clouds Who Draw Us Home. And for a little bit of backstory, this song came to me about a year ago now. So I've chosen it because it's one of the first songs that I channeled. And it's a song that came from energies that are feeling very, very much full circle again. In that, when I sat down at the piano in this moment, I felt Gaia coming up through my feet. And above me, I could feel and I could hear the guardian dragon of the western winds, who I connect with quite often, swirling around me and all above me. And with Gaia's encouragement, as I put my hands to the keys, I felt myself getting pulled up into the sky, and the guardian dragon took me on a journey, and that journey was this song. This song brought me home again. It brought me to my heart. And here I am, a whole year later, and because of everything that happened in 2020, like most people, it was an absolute upheaval of a year where all my goals and plans really didn't happen. Apart from that poetry book, that did. That happened. And despite that, I've come into 2021, even though 2021 is still feeling just as chaotic as 2020 was, that I am even more anchored into the earth and anchored into the sky and at home and at peace and at balanced than I have ever been. And there's no specific rhyme or reason to it. When it comes to energy, there never is, as I'm sure all of you know. But that's just a little bit of a backstory to this song that I'd like to share with all of you, and where it originated from, and the energies that I was tapping into when the music came out of me. So, I hope all of you are in a comfortable space. If not, you may wish to get yourself settled. You may wish to close your eyes and just let yourself go with wherever this song takes you. I would love to hear down in the comments below also about what you feel when you listen to this song. What images come to your mind? Who do you end up connecting with when you are hearing this song that has come from Gaia and the Western Wind Dragon? So, without further ado, here is To the Clouds Who Draw Us Home. thank you for listening. And I look forward to what this year will be bringing in terms of all of the wonderful musical journeys and the adventures of creativity that we will all be going on, because we are at a huge turning point. There is so much that has happened and so much that will be happening that this makes this time that we are currently in this moment, one of the greatest times to be here and to create and to take all that is happening and transform it into the light of our creativity. Love and light to all of you, and I will see you next week. Goodbye for now.